that becomes the tariqah in which I want to accompany them. The realities they have, they're not regular teachings, and as a result of accompanying them, loving them, being of service in the ways that they've taught, my soul is locked on with them, and wherever they go they take me with them. Because a ship doesn't throw its passengers off every time it goes into a beatific location. Means as the ship is moving through these tajallis, everyone on board is being dressed by those tajallis, and that becomes the beatific dress and the fayaz that people talk about and emanations that Sufis are known for. Means that as they're being dressed, everyone on the ship will be dressed by its realities. So we want a ship that talks and teaches about immense ishq and love for Sayyidina Muhammad because those are the tajallis we want. If you're interested in a ship that talks about fire, and then you find that type of ship, and when it goes through that fire you can feel the burning of Jahannam, and if that's pleasurable for you then best of luck. Means that which you are attracted to, then you look to board that ship, and as a result to be dressed and to be blessed by it. Alhamdulillah for the month of Hajj and the immense realities. At the beginning phase the student reads Surat al-Yusuf, because now we come to the 12th month, which is our pilgrimage and completion of this journey, but not an end, because every journey is a circle. At one point it stops and then it continues on an infinite rotation, and that becomes the opening of Muharram. But the beginning journey is understood by Surat al-Yusuf, in which Allah gives to awliyaullah and to everyone that this is a beatific surah. Now this, because this knowledge has come to the heart of awliyaullah, they're describing for us that its beauty and the reality why Allah is saying that this is a beatific story, this is a beautiful story. Because the people of if I know that the dress of the 12th month is the pilgrimage, and what Allah wants for His servant is that every year you're a pilgrim and every year you're in a continuous movement towards Divine Presence, otherwise you have no purpose on this earth. If your purpose on earth was to eat, drink and use the facilities, it's a wasted creation. And what Allah wanted for this creation was to reach towards beatific realities. So the entry level, beginning level, and those whom are coming new, then read Surat al-Yusuf and describes how Allah says, this is a beatific story we're about to tell you. Why? Because Allah wants the beatific dress of Sayyidina Yusuf upon the servant. And the only way to achieve this beatific dress are through the turuqs and tariqas. Why? Because they are the paths of the Muhammadan light. They're not kindergarten, they're not regular classes. These are for the khawas and the souls in which Allah has destined for them to reach to realities. That's why we said in the beginning if they don't have that interest, they're not interested at all, because Allah didn't put that interest within them. It's not their cleverness, it's when Allah loves that servant and wants them to achieve these beatific realities, Allah has to put that desire within. We say even hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah, hayya ala falah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Means even for prayer you have no power and might or help to even get up and pray if Allah doesn't want you to pray. You can hear the azan all day long and people don't even move, they don't even feel like they have to move. Hawla and quwwah has to reach to the servant, that the help and power has to come from Allah that I want you to pray to me. And there's samina wa ata'na, and the soul's command overrides the sickness of the nafs and commands the being to go and to pray. So it means everything we do is by the grace of Allah Almighty. To reach the beatific dress of Sayyidina Yusuf, then we read Surat al-Yusuf and understand what makes the servant to be so beatific in Allah's eyes, in which the understanding of the women that were chasing Sayyidina Yusuf is dunya, in which the dress of the servant becomes so beatific upon them that all of dunya will cut itself to give to that reality. And that's what Allah wants for the servant, is to take a beatific dress, take these dress of realities and lights, and as a result your path upon dunya was a means in which to achieve beatific lights for your akhirah destination. Your path on dunya was not your path on dunya where you thought, oh it's just going to be my whatever I want to do for dunya is dunya and akhirah is separate, church and state are separate. Allah no, He wants for us that use your dunya to achieve your lofty stations in paradise. And Surah Yusuf represents that reality, that given a dream is a prophet with 11 brothers whom are very high stations. We believe them to be the prophets of Bani Israel and the 12 tribes of Bani Israel. And it relates to his father who's a prophet, that I see the 11 planets, the sun and the moon bowing down for me, and telling that, don't tell your brothers that what you've seen of your dream. Means that the seeker every step of this Ayat al-Kareem in Qur'an, this holy surah is a description for the path. That this path that you're going to partake on is not going to be similar to anyone in your family, no matter what the darajat of your father or your brother or anyone in your family. Many come and say, my father is such and such, or my family are all Chistiya and all this and all that. And Allah give into the surah first when you come through the door, they don't care what you think your station is. Your station may be uniquely different than your father's, and that became the reality for Sayyidina Yusuf. The whole path of dealing with jealousy from the brotherhood, not from outside people. The brotherhood and its jealousy, that when they saw the beatific light upon Sayyidina Yusuf they became jealous of that. And the danger of jealousy we described in nights before we left for the beginning of the month, that jealousy is the greatest danger on the way of tariqah, because it blocks every miracle. When someone has a jealousy within their heart, immediately the miracles begin to be blocked and they see nothing of the path, they see nothing of its signs. And Allah gives the beginning of the surah as a whole understanding for servants, means that read it very slow and meditate on each verse that Allah is giving. He's starting with a description of a very high station. Can there be a servant in which the sun and the moon and all 11 planets are bowing to him? One means that are there servants that have an immense authority in Allah's presence, in which Allah is describing. This is a beautiful surah, drawing our attention, and then starting it with the dream of Sayyidina Yusuf, that the sun and the moon under my command and 11 planets making sujood and bowing to me. One, establishing this path and this beatific reality is very high, its potential is very high, and as a result of its immense realities it's based on manners. How can you reach any of these on your own? It's not. Can you achieve it as an inheritance from your father? No. Sayyidina Yaqub was not able to give his secret to Sayyidina Yusuf because Sayyidina Yusuf had a completely different reality to achieve. So this lofty station, and the first danger of this path is jealousy, that what you're about to embark on, even your brothers if they hear it, they're going to try to harm you. So then everyone's sitting at home wondering, should I tell my cousin, should I tell my this, should I tell my story? No, don't tell your dreams, don't tell your path, don't tell what you think you've achieved and what abilities you're beginning to have within your heart, because Allah's giving a warning that those who are closest to you, if they become jealous, they can begin to try to harm you. This is a prophet of Allah. And what the brothers did, they threw him in a well. We're going to go fast through the surah because for many years we're going over this reality. We'll go fastly through it so to encapsulate its understanding. So Sayyidina Yusuf is thrown into a well. One, you're now going to be thrown into a well when you enter into tariqah. So first thing they say, all my friends they left me, all the people I knew they don't want to talk to me, even relatives and close associates have all gone, and this is your well. Everyone on this path has a well. The life they knew before, and they think, oh I don't know why I'm on this path, and as soon as I got on this path I lost all these things, I lost the connection to everything. Many people have immense sacrifices and they question all the time in their mind, was it correct to choose that? And Allah is showing, if Allah chooses you He isolates you, and that's your sign. Isolation means you're in your own chal, your own well. It's the very isolation that opens the door to the path of the way, because the greatest danger are people. The people around you, they don't just say, oh you're embarking on a spiritual path, great, how can I help you? They'll take you down in a second and say, are you crazy? Why would you want to do these things? Well, what's going on? Come with us to where we're going, come, we usually always go here, we go there. So Allah is giving to us, all those whom are coming new and understanding, Allah is giving to us, no, He has to isolate the servant, and the isolation is forced upon the servant this time. Later Sayyidina Yusuf will ask for isolation. This isolation Allah takes and throws the servant in a condition in which to isolate them, and as a result of being isolated he is distressed, and a trading caravan begins to approach. And as a result this caravan looked into the well and said, oh look, there's a servant in here, maybe we take him and it will be a blessing for us or some money for us. And they brought him out and enslaved him. Meaning what? Your free will be taken away. If you're trying to use your will in tariqah, then how are you really going to be asir? Right? To achieve these beatific lights, Allah isolates you. Then He says that you're not going to be so isolated because guides are coming. they're going to come and pull you out. But they're going to teach you, because it's voluntary, that to lose your will, lose your concept in your mind of always trying to think what your path is going to be. Try to be asir, in which you're captive. You've been captivated by Allah's Divinely love. Think of it in a nice way, that, Ya Rabbi, all my life I've been choosing and they all seem to be wrong. So I surrender myself to your will. And this is what taslim and Islam mean, is surrendering our will to the will of Allah to reach these immense realities and immense lights. As a result of that, they understood when this caravan comes in our life, the very caravan and the tariqah that we enter, the shaykh that we draw near to, it's like a rope that's been tied to us. Allah has destined this shaykh will take you now out of that darkness and into the light, into the path of light. And as a result, the caravan is taking Sayyidina Yusuf to Malik al-Aziz, to kingdom, to